Welcome back to Draft Mayhem. We're going to do another top 10 2025 NFL mock draft post Super Bowl. Let's get into it. Start off here, you'll see we have two trades at the top of the board. The New York Giants have traded with the Tennessee Titans for that number 1 overall pick, and the Raiders traded all the way up from pick number 6 to pick number 2 with the Cleveland Browns to get that number overall 2 pick. All right, Giants on the board. The Giants presumably have no valid option at quarterback for the 2025 season. So unless they sign a veteran, they need to trade up in the draft and they need to grab one of the top 2 guys. I'm going to give them Cam Ward. He's got a higher ceiling than Shador. He's more athletic. He's got a bigger arm. He's not as accurate. He doesn't show as good of processing, but hopefully Dable can get more out of him. Pick number 2, we're not going to waste any time. Shador Sanders. Tom Brady gets his guy in Oakland. Pete Carroll seems like a bridge coach, but he's also like a win now coach. Like, he's in his 70s. He wants to win now. Tom Brady loves Shador Sanders. He's coached him in the off seasons. They trade up. They go get their guy. That was the number one thing the Raiders were missing last year, was a competent QB. And Shador definitely raises the floor for their play. Pick number 3, Tennessee Titans. We're going to give them Abdul Carter again. This guy is the best pass rusher in this draft. He's so explosive off the line. If you watch the Super Bowl, you saw the Eagles' defensive line just destroy Kansas City. If you can get a difference maker on the edge, you pair Abdul Carter next to Tavondre and Jeffrey Simmons, and that is a scary defensive line and something that your team can build around for the next 5 years. So, pick number 4 on the board. Patriots are an interesting team. There's rumors about them spending almost $30 million on T. Higgins this offseason. I don't think it's a bad move. You have to give Drake May somebody to throw to. I'm going to give them Travis Hunter here. They need some help at cornerback. Get that defense going again. And, to pair him and T. Higgins together would be a lot of fun to watch when you throw Travis on the offensive side of the ball for, 5, 10, 15 plays a game, every game. Help Drake out even more. So that's a good pick for them. I like that. Pick number 5 on the board, Jacksonville Jaguars. They certainly need help on the interior offensive line. It's pretty early to go there. You could take a guy like Will Campbell and maybe play him on the inside at guard. But I'm going to go with who I think is the best defensive tackle in the draft here, Mason Graham out of Michigan. He does it all. Run stuffer, can get after the passer. I think one of the most complete, if not the most complete player in this draft. So that's an easy pick for them, I think. Pick number 6, the Cleveland Browns. They could go a lot of different ways here. They could use help at tackle, and I think Will Campbell is too good of a prospect to pass up. He started his true freshman year at LSU. He's played left tackle the past 3 years. I think he's given up like less than 5 sacks in that amount of time, and with the amount of talent in the SEC, that's just incredible. So we're going to give him Will Campbell. He'll be a starter for the next 10 to 15 years for them. Pick number 7, the New York Jets. They could go a lot of different ways here too. I don't know what they're going to be doing at QB. I do know that with Rodgers gone, they're probably going to be losing Devontae Adams. And McMillan is a really tempting option here. I'm going to go with him. He's a big-bodied receiver. He's 6'5", I think like 220. Really smooth route runner, can go up and pluck any ball that you want to. He's really what they wanted Mike Williams to be this year, and Mike kind of fell short and they traded him. Or did they release him? But he complements Garrett Wilson perfectly. Wilson's a dynamic athlete. McMillan's more just steady, can get open, kind of a Mike Evans type, not going to blow the roof off of you, but just somehow gets open and can snatch any balls. So that's a good fit for them. Pick number 8, the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to give them Jalen Walker here out of Georgia. He's rising up everyone's draft boards. Everyone's comparing him to Micah Parsons. He is a ridiculous athlete. They move him around the entire field, along the entire defensive line. He plays off-ball linebacker, so he's not really an experienced pass rusher. But whenever they send him after the QB, his pressure rate is really, really high. Really good athlete. Panthers just need really good football players on the defensive side. They're just starved of talent on that side, and he could end up being the best defensive player in this draft in a couple of years after he develops. Put him at linebacker now, kind of slowly ease him into that pass rusher role like the Cowboys did for Parsons, and that'd be a really good fit for them. New Orleans Saints on the clock at 9. I'm going to give them Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State you probably saw in the playoffs. This guy, he runs around like Rob Gronkowski. He just looks that big on the field. Not many of those tight ends do. And he does it all. He can block. He's so, he doesn't create a ton of separation, but just enough to where he can pluck the ball out. Defenders bounce off of him. He's just a really, really good player. And on that Saints offense where Olave's getting hurt every other game, Kamara's getting up there in age. They probably have to roll out with Carr again at QB. He just doesn't have a ton of weapons. Tyler Warren gives him another dynamic weapon. He's a really, really good player and a solid fit for them. Number 10, the Chicago Bears. I'm going to give them who Daniel Jeremiah had mocked to the Bears. And it's a reach because he's a guard, but Tyler Booker is who Jeremiah called one of the safest picks in this draft, which I know is the worst thing to say. But this guy was a leader at Alabama. He's a massive dude. I think he's 6'5", like 320, 330. He's given up 2 sacks in the past 3 years. He's a starter for the past 2 years, played about 400 snaps in 2022. So about half the snaps you're going to play in a year. He's a really good pass blocker. Has some work to do in the run game, but he's powerful. He can hold his point of attack. And with Caleb throwing back there for hopefully a lot of yards next season, they need someone who can just hold back the defensive line from getting after him. And Tyler Booker could be just that guy. So there you go. There's the top 10 picks. 2.0 post Super Bowl. We're going to start doing mock draft of the entire first round. That'll be next video. And then we're going to start diving into team needs here. I'm going to start off with the NFC North and go conference by conference. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.